Now, we were wondering, given the rather tumultuous events in Shreveport of the last, say, 45 days, and specifically the vote on the proposed arena down at the Cross Bayou area. And we kind of talked about this in a segment earlier this morning. There was this company, Corporate Realty, from Birmingham, Alabama, going to come to town, spend $130 million, whatever it worked out to be, on a retail area. I said repeatedly, what is it about this spot, about this market, that Corporate Realty likes so much that we in Shreveport seem to be missing? And I wanted to get a couple of real estate guys in to talk about that. So I guess the first question would be, what is it about Cross Bayou? Does it have any real estate value? And part two of that question, what was it about that, maybe other than the arena, that Corporate Realty liked?
Well, corporate America wants to spend some money in Shreveport, and we like for them to spend money in Shreveport. Trouble is, without a good plan and without selling it to the public lashed out. It's like, tell us what you're doing. What is this? How is it going to work?
So tell me what Corporate Realty saw in Shreveport that Shreveport didn't see in itself.
I don't know, because I'm not corporate.
But they do this across the country. This is how they make their living. They didn't want to go to the next proposal and have somebody stand up and say, yeah, but what the hell went wrong in Shreveport?
Yeah, I think they see a potential in it. And at the same time, I don't know that we have a real huge draw like big sports are real active downtown. And at the end of the day, maybe they see a potentiality and investment in there with hopefully a good return on it. They just probably did not get enough buy-in or sell it to the public. Do you
think without an arena, something sexy down there to attract people, that area has any appeal to developers at all?
The development of Cross Bayou, this is not the first time this has been brought up. A number of years ago, a local architect drew up plans for development on Cross Bayou. Now, I believe that was more of a living and retail community. So it's not the first time. It's just it didn't work then, or it didn't get enough
so it's
traction.
Basically 0 for 2 now.
Correct.
I want to know, and Chris sells a zillion homes. He's probably the biggest real estate sales guy in the community. I want to know if people will really go live here. Will people?
You mean on the riverfront?
Will that be a draw?
It's a cool lifestyle. It really is, and it appeals to a lot of folks. And I think we've got several of our buildings downtown, and Keith knows a little bit more about this than I do, but several of our buildings downtown obviously been converted and updated and remodeled to
right now,
downtown
pardon me,
living,
there is
right?
so little residential living along the river. Why? Why is that? I mean, Erin's saying, I'd move down there in a heartbeat, and she's being totally serious. And yet, once again, I don't see Shreveport or Bossier guys lining up to build places along the river.
Well, we're not still don't have the downtown draw yet. So there hasn't been the local investment or enough, I guess, out of town to invest in downtown Shreveport to make it a viable place to draw the people in. Although I live down off Clyde Fant in Island Park, and so, but if you look in Island Park or going down Clyde Fant, there's development going all down Clyde Fant south towards Jimmy Davis. So maybe we're gradually getting there.
Is there any chance that the other side of Clyde Fant, all that city-owned property, to build things where people could, if it's not Cross Bayou, is it down there by Jimmy Davis? I think riverfront living for a lot of people has a huge appeal. And, you know, if it could be Cross Bayou and I've got a balcony overlooking the river, and I think that's viable.
The river floods. And until somebody solves that problem, I wouldn't recommend putting anything on the Red River. Now, Cross Bayou, to my knowledge, does not have a history of flooding. And as we develop more living downtown, the old buildings, like the lofts at 624, I believe they're completely rented and not everybody or anybody's moved in at this time. The old United Mercantile Bank building, which was the first commercial national bank, is now going to be the standard. And that's going to bring more people in. And as we slowly build into the core of downtown, then I think more developers might be interested in doing something on Cross Bayou.
There's also been the talk, guys, and that putting a development at Cross Bayou will only cannibalize other businesses in our community. Is that a concern for you guys as you see what businesses are locating here? And I mean, there's only going to be so many that are going to want to operate in this complex if we do build it. So
as far as cannibalizing other businesses downtown, no, I just see that as adding more to the mix, giving people more choices.
Right. If you're a betting guy, 10 being corporate realty still looking, they're still interested in coming, 1 being this deal is dead, where would you guys put it?
My thought is this. I mean, they're 120, 130 million in. We're dealing with about a $30 million arena bond call. And if it's that viable and that profitable, private investment is probably a better move, in my opinion, than the city covering it or us taxpayers covering it. If Shreveport is that viable an investment, why not come up with the other 25 or 30 million and gamble on it?